You don't go along with the get along. Others can sense you're genuine. That's why they've sicked the hive on you. You have a lot of people that you may feel you are up against because they're up against you. And particularly, this happens in environments where we are around groups of people, people who are high vibrational, us chosen ones. All right. A lot of us are introverted, and even if we're extrovert, we're introverted extrovert. All right. We like to stay to ourselves. We like peace. We don't like to do too much random talking conversations. Some may call it opportunistic, but your time is very valuable. You do a lot of things, and you know you can't just talk to anybody. You have to get to know someone, see what a person is into, see what type of energy that they'll bring, because you don't go along with the get along. You can sense a good spirit when you know one, but in terms of following everyone else and doing what everybody else is doing and wanting to fit in and bowing down to fit in and appeasing egos and the aggrandizement of others, you're not into that. That's not who you are. You're not going to uplift them because they have an ego. If they do a good job, they hold a good meeting, they help you with something, they give a good presentation, they do some fundraising to help some people, they do something positive for someone else. You know that this is a person that would do something for someone out the kindness of their heart. You will not just big up or show love or go out of your way to overly appreciate someone. You have appreciation for people and you have respect for people as far as not doing them any harm and treating them the way that they're treating you is concerned. Treating them the way you'd want to be treated is concerned. But anything other than that, that has to be earned. There are people out here who are wanting others to look at them like they've done something when they haven't done anything. And I'm okay with that. That's what I'm not okay with. I'm okay with not being looked at like anything. You can look at me however you want. If I haven't accomplished anything that's good enough to you, for you, that's your business. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not affected by that. You can look at my life and the things that I've accomplished or the things that I've done, and you can shake your head. You could look down on it. You could frown upon it. Whatever you want to do with it is up to you. But the one thing I can say is I'm going to I'm going to work for what I want. Shout out to everybody that's working for what they want. Shout out to everybody that's going to go out and get what they want and grind for it and do what they have to do to get what they want in a positive, legitimate, righteous way. Shout out to everybody doing what's right, man. That's what time it is. Everybody sees what time it is. It's not time to do what's wrong. It's time to do what's right. Even the people that's doing what's wrong, eventually they're trying to get to what's right so they don't have to do what's wrong anymore. Only knuckleheads are trying to continue to do what's wrong. Only a idiot is going to try to continue to do something that's going to put them in a bad situation. Maybe some people do have to get bumped upside the heads a couple times in certain areas. I know so that has to happen for certain people in certain aspects in life, but you're not going to go along with the get along. All right, they can't get you to do it. They're mad because they can't get you to give them the type of credit that they feel they deserve. Everybody deserves credit, but they want you, instead of you feeling good about yourself, they want you to dim your light, tone it down, and shine it on them. All right, because you're attracting too much attention. So what they really want you to do is they want you to tone it down and give it to them. What I suggest, now that I have figured this out, all right, and I'm assuming this is what being low key is about. You shouldn't, I mean, you may not want to shine too much around certain people. And I get they say don't outshine the master. So it's all coming to me now. But some of us were unaware that we're outshining the master. We don't have any intention of outshining the master. Our intention is just to do our best. But when we do our best, with God shining his glory down upon us, it just happens to get attention. It happens to draw attention. It's like when SpongeBob was on stage at the Krusty Krab when Squidward was performing, and Squidward would stand out there, nobody would applaud. SpongeBob would be just sweeping the floor and everybody was going nuts. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you could just be sweeping the floor. They're gonna go nuts because it's you. They took the broom away. He started using the dustpan. It's still going crazy because it was him. He was the star of the show. You are the star of the show without even trying. So you may have to compact your style and package it in a way to where other people will not feel as worried or insecure as they do. All right. You may have to package that thing up a little bit for others to be able to accept it. When you're in public and things like that, it's good to be confident. It's good to be yourself. But I can see now how doing certain things and carrying yourself a certain way, it is intimidating to others. So not necessarily dimming your light, but packaging your light in a way to where maybe you know you're low key shining. You're getting your shine on under the radar. All right. So possibly some of us are going to have to implement that strategy of getting your shine on under the radar. All right. I know I have to do a whole separate video on that. Well, I have a pen handy. We're going to write that down for sure. Bear with me. Just don't poke the bear with me. But yeah, most definitely, you're going to have to get your shine on under the radar because there are some people out there that are haters. Okay? They are haters. So you're going to have to get your shine on under the radar. That way you won't get played like a gator. Or get bit by a gator. They're reptiles. All right, so you don't go along with the get along. You're not going to pretend you're a part of a group full of people that don't even like you, that possibly don't even, more than likely, don't like each other. It's nothing wrong with having respect for people. I honor that. It's nothing wrong with treating people, fair and with kindness and all that. I honor that. But to uplift somebody over yourself, I would rather shine under. I would rather stay low key. I would rather stay low key than trying to, not trying, but putting someone above myself. All right, so no one likes that necessarily, but I know there are people who do it. I understand there are people who have positions over you. I understand there are people who are have higher positions over you. I respect that. And I definitely would respect, their authority as far as their authority goes, and would not disrespect that. But where some instances where you see like friends of people or groups, and it's like that one person where they're all, and I haven't seen Mean Girls. I've seen it referenced, but maybe I need to go check that out. I don't know, just the whole it being about girls, kind of. No offense to the ladies or anything, but not being a teen anymore and watching that, I just but I might have to watch it just for the purposes of the game, because they always giving game to the kids. All right, so yeah, they always giving game to the kids. Um, you might want to just you know be you in a way to where it's not as much in everybody's face. And I know you're not doing that. I know you're not doing that, but just so people don't detect you as trying to outdo them or be better than them, you know, do your best, but like your best just enough. Like, do your best and be good, but make it so it's not that much better than anybody else in certain instances. But I'm really about to just say screw all that and just go all out and be your best and be your greatest, because that's what we do on this channel. But there are instances where that may help you. You might have to get in where you fit in for certain situations, and certain situations you got to play your part. All right, certain situations, you got to play your part. If you see somebody is egotistical and you just want to be there for a certain amount of time, or you feel that you could work the situation with righteous, if you could work the situation with righteous, manipulation. I hate to say it, but something, if they're going to be manipulators, you can figure out how to make the situation work for you in a righteous way, with just reversing their reverse psychology. All right, reversing their reverse psychology, because they're going to be coming at you all kind of ways if they see you trying to outdo them and be better than them. So make sure you can do your best to a point to where it looks like you're doing your best, but it doesn't look like you're trying to do better than anybody else. So you have to do your best, but do your best to a certain extent to where it won't get you detected, or it won't make anybody suspicious of you. But then again, determine the situation, go all out and do your absolute best. All right. That's just for certain situations. That's just a backup plan. But always, always, always do your best. But that's just God just wanted me to throw that in there. Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody's in a situation to where, they may have to, you know, shine under the radar. All right. But yeah, we're gonna have a little bit more on that in another video. But you're not going along with what they expected you to, and like, people will fall in line. And maybe this is why certain people are meant to work by themselves. Maybe this is why certain people are meant to not be in groups, because of their mentality or because of their personality. But it's just not much authenticity in some of the like big groups of friends and stuff like that I've seen in the past. And it's always like that certain, like that fake dynamic that you can kind of sense, and it's got like a cringy vibe to it, and it just repulses some people. It repels some people. But you're not going to go along with what they wanted. All right, you're not going along with putting them above you. You're not going along with making them bigger than you. Or you're not going along with putting this person in a higher position than yourself. All right, certain instances, this is good to appease people's egos because it'll get them off your back. So I could see how this does work and this does help people, but in certain instances it goes too far because I've seen people, like I've personally experienced, where it just goes too far and they want you to do more, and possibly being introverted, not wanting to speak to people, like this could not work well for you, because if one day you're appeasing to them and then the next day it's like you're to yourself, silent, not talking to nobody, like I could see how someone would have a issue with that. So you may have to explain to them sometimes that you just need a moment to yourself. Some people will be understanding of that, some people will not. All right, most people, if it's just like sometimes if it's just you and another person, depending on what you got going on, they will not be supportive of that. They will not care. They'll just want your time, your attention, and they'll be like, "Screw you and your time to yourself. It's all about me." But you don't go along with the get along. You're disruptive. All right, and it's cool, but you're gonna have to figure out how to make that work for you. All right, just playing. God's on your side, and it'll always work for you. But you have to be. You have to be. It's a way of avoiding the manipulation and the control that people try to place on you. So you have to be disruptive when certain things aren't going the way that they're supposed to, and you see other people trying to gain control, you have to disrupt that, and you have to not go along with the get along with them, but don't go along with the BS. All right, don't go along with the gossip, the manipulation, the talking about other people, the praising these people like they're God. All right, don't go along with all that. Give credit where credit is due, and be friendly, be kind to people, talk to people, you know, be a good person. But as far as the butt kissing, the butt kiss, all right, the Mr. Butt Kiss, don't do the Mr. Butt Kiss, all right. Don't You don't have to do all that. All right. So like the sickening, cringy fakeness behavior that you see people get involved in, you don't have to do all that. I know that works for some people, but some people you would just end up wasting your time and it wouldn't be worth any of your time. It pays to be respectful, it pays to be kind, it pays to do unto others as you would want done unto you, but all that extra stuff is for the birds. All right, so all that extra stuff is for the birds. Camaraderie is good, but it's like, and I don't want to sound like I'm sending the wrong message with this video, but it's just like certain people, when it comes to the energy that like chosen ones have and that high vibrational people have, it's like they get too greedy. They want too much. They start doing too much. It's like they start wanting you to, like I said, dim your light down and shine it on them, or they either hate you for the fact that you can make them feel good, and then they demand you to keep doing it while being like covertly aggressive, and will do things to antagonize you but act like they're not doing it, but will want respect and like the utmost praise all at the same time. And that's just something that's why you're having an issue with certain people and their leadership styles. They're abusing their power, they're manipulating, playing games, being covertly aggressive, and trying to basically just all the way around just like screw with people. And certain people that really don't know what's going on, but can pick up on the fact that they're either being played with or messed with or something ain't right. And some people will say that that's work, but or some people will say that that's being in a group or that's friends, but those are toxic environments that aren't positive for people who are sensitive to energies or whatever. It's like you feel that and you don't want to be around it. You feel that and you don't want to be involved with it. It's just like a person that's real that just don't like fake stuff. It's like the person is just like super cringed by the fakeness. They're like, I can't do it. Or it's just like something that's not you. You're just like, that's not me. I can't be a part of that. Yeah, that's not me. That I ain't doing that. And there are certain people that just don't want to do certain things, and it's like they can't do certain things, or they just don't feel like it. But I understand for the purposes of I know for the purposes of being professional, there's instances where that has to be done, and there are times where that probably would have served me well. All right, but you have to learn, and the fact that I was going through like you'll go through a whole bunch of stuff, and if you're not aware of how people are playing you or playing games with you, you're just going to be confused and you're just not going to understand. You're going to just basically like it's like a child learning how to walk, a toddler learning how to walk. They're just going to get up, keep hitting the ground, get up, keep hitting the ground until they can stand up. So, don't look down on yourself for not understanding work politics or just understanding people or understanding how people play games and things like that, because I mean it's a lot that people will do to a person just to avoid being honest or telling the truth or being real about a situation, or just to avoid not being a, a decent person. I know that sounds like may sound corny or whatever, but it's like there are people who are doing some real dark arts out here, and that's why it's witchcraft. That's why it's witchcraft. And the fact that people do stuff like this and will like these are attacks that people are putting on people, and people aren't aware of them. People aren't aware of them because they're not expecting it, or they're not that kind of person. But like they will do things to you and get you in a mode to where now you feel you have to respond or react, and they know how to push a person's buttons the right way to get them to act in a certain way. So when you're unaware of that, people can pretty much just use you and play with you and toy with you however they want, until you become hip that people are playing you. You're not really gonna know what's going on. You're just gonna like be gaslit and be confused, because there's a whole type of witchcraft and sorcery and spells being casted, all types of stuff just happening, and you're not even on point with any of it, and it's not your fault. But you were aware something was off, but you weren't totally on point to what was going on. All right, so we got to make sure that we stay on point out here, because there are some wicked folks out here, and they don't mind they don't mind going about getting what they want in whatever way is necessary for them, even when it comes down to trying to force people to get in line with some type of mob or some type of cult type system. And you can see how people are being treated. You don't want any part of it. You can see how, or pretty much predict how they would do you. So you don't want to take any parts of that. So you don't. And when you don't, you're written off as a subordinate. You're written off as a troublemaker. You're written off as a person who makes problems, or someone who they just can't trust. So at this point, mobs may come after you. They may try to make you leave. They may try to get you up out of there, force you up out of there. Now it's easy to see how certain situations went the way they did, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so you don't go along with the get along, and others can sense you're genuine, and that's why they've sicked the hive on you. All right, you could care less about how they feel, and you're going to feel good still, regardless of them trying to put you down and things like that. The fact that they see you as a threat, all your good qualities, trying to destroy you for that, just it's not going to end well for them. So it always hasn't. It always works out for us anyway. So it is what it is. Um, yeah, you got to stay on point out here, man. They are doing some they're doing some dark arts out here. That's the best thing I can say. And the rabbit hole only gets deeper, you know. But it is what it is. Got to be aware of Satan and his devices. Don't be don't be sleeping on the devil, y'all. Don't be sleeping on the devil. That stuff ain't nothing to play with, man. People doing some real crafty things out here. But we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be protected. The weapons may form against us, but they won't prosper. We're gonna be all right. We're not gonna be harmed by what others are trying to come up against us with. All right. Amen. So I'll see you all in the next video. Shout out to everybody supporting this channel. Peace.